Hi, Andy.
Hello, Deepa. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for this this conversation that we're going to have now. So, you have been a part of the Leading with Presence program, the last cohort, and a very, very active participant. You did not miss any single session, and you would be the one to show up before time. In fact, I would look around for you. So, my first question is, what really made you sign up for this 3 months journey?
Okay. Um, so I work in Barclays and I lead a team of approximately 120 people across, three cities in India. And there was a wider yearning with about 20 years in this firm. There is always a wider yearning to be a little more aware sometimes, a little more productive sometimes, a little more empathic, efficient sometimes. And I came across this course through LinkedIn and I reached out to you. And when I connected to you, I thought this is potentially one course where I can spend some time with myself, including with a cohort. So that gave me a lot of confidence to sign up for this. Uh, and I thought one way if I can lead people in a better manner, I think it has to start with my own self. And over the past few years, I was aware of some of the patterns or let's say tendencies that were coming up every once in a while, sometimes inhibiting me from being the most productive self. So literally, I didn't know the course content or the details. I didn't even Google or do a reference. I just took a leap of faith that this is the right thing at this point of time for people like me.
Lovely. And in these 11 modules, which module or modules impacted you the most?
I like the flow of exact presence codes that you have designed, which is also in a way ICC accredited.
Yeah.
But more than the hours or the accreditations which were there, I think the time that we spent collectively, I would say, has made me more reflective. The sessions themselves had a flow. It started with, I think, us understanding how we are projecting our name in a corporate setting, in the setting of our home, and how do we so deeply resonate with that. There were some of the sessions that required us to do somatic practices that really helped me connect with the body, something that we often ignore.
Yeah.
There was breath awareness, there was a session on tapping, there was eurythmy that I really loved. There was an empathy map as well in terms of how we understand our inner critic and what are the voices we hear, what are the stuffs which are potentially beneath the surface that sometimes we are not fully aware of, but more often those are the stuffs that really drive our outside projection. And one thing I think amongst all these modules, I think two things that really connected me well is one of them was being vulnerable in front of a cohort that potentially we were strangers before we met up for this course, but in that safe space that you created, we could be a kid, we could be ourselves, we could forget that we are leaders of 100 people or so, but at the same time we could connect to our inner core, which in a way helps to strengthen our foundation in terms of how we want to socialize and build our social capital to the outer world. So I think that session where we were vulnerable the most helped me be myself in front of everyone. And something which was more of a self reflection was the river module, which in a way mapped to say different eras of our life. Sometimes we forget how much we have accomplished.
Personal
Uh,
storytelling.
yes, personal storytelling, right? So, right from our childhood, what were the highlights? Maybe some kid participation in school, something that we got uh, appreciated for in college, some key moments of achieving some accolades in academic, first job, marriage, career. So those highlights sometimes in our yearning to be more, in our yearning to always want more, uh, we often forget what we have currently or what we have accomplished despite all the obstacles. So some of those courses brought that perspective to say how much a person or a personality in this society has accomplished. And it also built the perspective that in all those times, it was never the individual alone who had to be given the whole credit for his acad, for his career, or even for any relationship, right? So many things had to fall in place. And I think it was very relevant in our current times, because we think we want to control everything. We want a fair degree of certainty. We want people to behave the way we expect them to, or situations to be exactly fall in the manner that we would like to. And more often than otherwise, it doesn't happen. And just that perspective that, every time, even if there was a fall or a failure, it was always, in a way, I would say, I can equate it to season. Like we have a spring season, we have a fall season. Spring is success, a fall season may just be a fall. And as long as we can stay, keep ourselves afloat, there was always hope
Right.
that things have turned. And more importantly, it was not just looking at the past, with all the gratitude, with all the perspective that it was always a collective effort and a lot of X factor which we never could measure. That perspective also helped us take the river forward to say what are the stuff that we are looking forward to accomplish,
Yeah.
uh, as a vision, as a broad inclination, aspiration, and what are the things which are in our control that we can do, and still leave it to the force of nature for things to fall in place. So I really loved that session, and
Wow.
sometimes I think that we learn how to flow with the flow, and thank you for the river
Yeah,
analogy on that.
yeah, so beautiful. You know, you are a leader, very senior leader with so many employees reporting into you. You are a coach, and I know in your heart you love coaching and you also do that with your team and others. Who would benefit from this kind of a journey? And what could be the takeaway for them if they participate?
Especially in today's world, Deepa, we are all hyper focused on, efficiency, on being productive. And while the values or the mindset or the culture that is expected is there in the posters, sometimes to deeply embody them and live them in our daily conduct, I think they have to be better assimilated. I personally, I found it, like I said, I'm my first client as a coach for myself. So it helped me understand my tendencies. Like I said, the somatic practices, it really helped me connect with myself. And sometimes, you have to fill your glass. Sometimes you have to be enough so that, you can outpour with love, grace, and lead with empathy and clarity. And I think some of these modules and the overall course help build that perspective. So I would say this is definitely for people who want to connect more deeply to themselves, who want to make an impact beyond the most obvious social validation, external, seeking, people pleasing default mindset that we have, or the tendency to, like I said, control or have certainty. It is, I think, for all those individuals, leaders, even people who are a part of a team, aspiring to at some point of time leading, if they have goals to build depth, presence, and more importantly, I would say connect.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. This makes a lot of sense because my work is normally below the iceberg. And I believe that inner mastery for outer impact. I hear exactly that's what you're saying. Thank you very much for being a part of the cohort and being you. And yeah, see you in some other program in the future.
Yes, and just a final note on that iceberg. I think there were there were a lot of moments in the course where uh, you know we as an iceberg want to stay cool, but we equally melted with a lot of warmth and safe space. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And more awareness of anything which is, below the ocean, for us to work even more deeply. Thank you very much
Absolutely.
for that.
Thank you.